Okay, let's finish off the first part of 4.5, and then we'll probably get into the second page of 4.5 on this. So all it wants us to do is calculate the amplitude, period, and endpoints of each function. So we're just going to remind ourselves. So the amplitude is whatever number is in front of the trig function. So in this case, there's nothing in front of sine, which means our amplitude then is equals 1. And then for our period, we're going to, for period, equals 2 pi over b, and that is our b, that 1/2, so 2 pi over 1/2, which equals 4 pi. So our period is 4 pi. And then it just wants our endpoint, so our start point, and so we're going to take what's inside parentheses, so 1/2 x plus pi over 4 equals 0. So 1/2 x equals negative pi over 4. So x equals negative pi over 2. And then the endpoint, same idea, 1/2 x plus pi over 4 equals 2 pi. So 1/2 x equals, let's see, 2 pi minus 8 pi over 4 minus pi over 4 is going to be 7 pi over 4. So x equals 7 pi over 2. So there's our endpoints, there is our period, and there's our amplitude. All right, we'll come over here. Amplitude, in this case, our amplitude is going to equal 2. So that means our graph is going to be stretching up a bit. Our period equals 2 pi over b. In this case, b is just 1. So this is 2 pi. And then our start, oops, take that out. So our start is going to be x minus pi over 3 equals 0. So x equals pi over 3. So we're shifting it to the right. We're going to be starting, instead of starting at 0, we're going to start at pi over 3. And then our ending point, we're going to take x minus pi over 3 equals to 2 pi. So again, we're going to add pi over 3 to 2 pi. Well, 2 pi is the same as 6 pi over 3, so that would give me 7 pi over 3. You got to be able to do a little bit of math there. So again, our amplitude is 2. Our period is 2 pi, standard period. Our starting point is going to be pi over 3, and our ending point is going to be 7 pi over 3. It hasn't asked us to do the x increments right now, but don't worry if you wanted to over here, just really quickly. If you want to do your x, you go 4 pi divided by 4 means pi. So pi would be wherever we go from midline to maximum to midline to minimum back to midline. You would do all of that. The space in between would be pi. Over here, your x-intercepts would be 2 pi divided by 4, so it would just be pi over 2. That would be your normal graph. Okay, so let's do the last one here. Amplitude equals 3, and then our period equals 2 pi divided by 2, so that's going to be equals pi. It didn't ask us about our midline, but I want to point it out since it's right there. So our midline is y equals 1. In other words, our graph is shifted up. So the previous two, we would have just been going on right along that x-axis, but in this case, we've shifted up to 1. But it didn't ask us for that, so I'm not going to go back. And then our start is going to be 2x equals 0, so x equals 0. And then our end is going to be 2x equals 2 pi, so x equals pi. All right, so start and end points. It didn't ask for the midline, but that's our midline, that's our period, and that's our amplitude. All right, let's keep going. Okay, a couple things. So it says when you're sketching a graph, we only really need to use 5 quadrantal points to sketch the graph, manipulate the parent function by finding the midline, amplitude, start, any points, x increments. Let's talk about a couple things really quickly here. If our graph is let me erase this, it's gonna bug me. If our graph is a positive sign, okay, then that means our graph is going to start at its at the midline. It's going to go to its max. It's going to come back to its mid. And it's going to end at its minimum. No, I'm sorry. It's going to go mid, max, mid, back to the midline, to the minimum, and it's going to end at its midline. It starts and stops at the same place. If it's a negative sign, in other words, and we'll see this later, if there's a negative, like down here, so negative sign, if that's the case, then we're going to start at our midline. We're going to go to our minimum. We're going to go down, then back to the midline, then up to the maximum, and then to the midline. Okay, if it's positive cosine, okay, positive cosine starts at the max, then goes to the mid, then goes to the minimum, then it goes back to the mid, and then it ends at its max. And then if it's negative cosine, again, now we're going to start at our min, kind of think about it reflecting over the x-axis or reflecting over the midline. So we're going to start as min, go up to the mid, go to the max, back to the midline, and then end at the minimum. All right, let's just look at the first example here, and then I'm going to have to stop and do the last 3 on a separate video. So let's find all of our information. Our amplitude equals 1, since there's nothing in front of the sign. Our midline is y equals 0, because there is nothing here, and there's nothing here. So that's why we have those values there. Our period, okay, our period equals 2 pi divided by b. As a reminder, this is b, so this is equals 2 pi over 2. Our period is pi, so we're going to start and stop at the distance of pi. Okay, we should probably go ahead and find our x increments. X increments, take our period, divide it by 4, so pi divided by 4. Okay, so now all we need is our start and stop. So green for start, so start. Okay, we're going to take 2x minus pi over 2 equals 0. 2x equals pi over 2, x equals pi over 4. So that's where it's going to start. So we're doing sine, and we know that positive sine is going to start at its midline. Our midline is at y equals 0, so we know we're starting, moving all over here. We know we're going to start at pi over 4. So I'll make this pi over 4. So this is pi over 4. Now, our increments are also pi over 4. So let's go pi over 4, 2 pi over 4, 3 pi over 4, 4 pi over 4. And yes, I know that that's pi over 2 and that's pi. Okay, I don't care. But that tells, and pi is where, let's see, that's not where we're ending, but 4 pi and then 5 pi over 4. Okay. But you can leave the fractions as are. There's no reason to deal with all that. So there's our starting point. We need to find our ending point. Ending point. We take 2x minus pi over 2 equals 2 pi. 2x equals, let's see, 4 pi over 2, 5 pi over 2. So x equals 5 pi over 4. So this is our ending point. Okay? And again, I guess since I'm going to go back to black here. Since it's sine, our amplitude is 1. So let's just go ahead and make this 1. Make this 1. We're going to start here. And then each of these, so our x increments are pi over 4. So this is an increment. So we're going to go from here to here. Okay? And then we're going to go from mid to max, back down to mid, down to minimum. This is -1, this is 1. And then we're back to the midline. And then we just connect them. Okay? And that graphically represents this function going around the